A cartoon movie just generated $160 million in a single weekend, and Microsoft CEO Satya Nadella is warning that AI giants could swallow the economy, and a billionaire entrepreneur is trying to beat solar power from space back to the Earth. At first, these stories may seem like completely unrelated. One is from about entertainment, another one is about AI, and the third one is about energy. But they are actually the same thing. The next global economy won't be built around oils, factories, or even the internet. It will be built around three resources: attention, intelligence, and energy. And the companies that control these resources may become the most powerful organizations of the earth. Now let's connect the dots. So let's start with entertainment. Now, the Toy Story 5 just delivered the biggest box office opening of the year, generating around $160 million and becoming the largest debut in the franchise's history. Now, here's the interesting question: why are investors, business analysts, are paying attention to a movie? Because Disney isn't just really selling movies anymore, it's selling attention. Think about it. In today's world, people have endless options: Netflix, YouTube, TikTok, Instagram, video games, podcasts, and AI generated content. Consumers are drowning in content, and attention has become scarce. And whenever something captures millions of people simultaneously, it becomes incredibly valuable. That's why franchises like Toy Story represents, and they are trusted brands that can still gather massive audiences in a fragmented media world. So the bigger lesson is that in the modern economy, attention itself has become an asset. If you can consistently attract attention, you can monetize it through subscriptions, advertising, merchandising, experiences, and entire ecosystems. This is why companies spend billions competing for your screen time, because attention is becoming one of the most valuable resources in the world. But attention alone isn't enough. The next battle is even bigger. This brings us to the Microsoft CEO Satya Nadella. Recently, Nadella warned that society cannot allow AI agents to simply consume the entire economy. Now, what does that actually mean? It means that many people hear statements like this and immediately thinks it's about just technology, but it's really about economics. Here's are the concerns. Now, AI is becoming a general purpose technology. Like we have just like electricity, internet, and the steam engine. So the companies building advanced AI systems are creating tools that could influence nearly every industry, like software, education, healthcare, finance, manufacturing, media, research, customer service, everything. So the question is, who captures the value? Will AI create opportunities for millions of businesses, or will a small number of AI platforms capture most of the profits? This is the same concern regulators had with previous technology giants. The larger a platform becomes, the more user it attracts, and the more user it attracts, the more data it gathers, and the more data it gathers, the stronger it becomes. And the stronger it becomes, the harder it is for competitors to challenge it. So Nandela's warning highlights a crucial issue. The future's AI economy must remain productive and competitive rather than concentrating all economic power on a handful of our organizations. Because if intelligence becomes the most important input in the economy, whoever controls that intelligence infrastructure will gain enormous influence. But there is another problem, because AI requires something else and lot of something else, that is energy. So that takes us to the entrepreneur Baiju Bhatt. Many people know him as the co-founder of Robinhood, but now he is pursuing something far more ambitious: a company called Aetherflux. Its goal is to generate solar energy in space and transmit it back to the Earth. Now, this may sound like science fiction, and to be fair, there are huge engineering challenges, but the idea reveals an important reality. The AI era is creating an enormous demand for electricity. That to train the advanced AI model, it requires massive computing power, and running AI systems will require data centers, and data centers requires energy and a lots of it. And every major technology company is now searching for reliable long-term energy sources, as in like nuclear, solar, geothermal, fusion research, anything. And space-based solar power, the reason is simple. the next wave of economic growth may be limited not by software but by electricity. If intelligence becomes abundant but energy remains scarce, energy becomes the bottleneck, which means energy producers could become just as important as AI companies themselves. So now what connect these three stories? Toy Story 5 will shows us the battle for attention, and Microsoft's AI warning shows the battle for intelligence, and Aetherflux shows the battle for energy. And these may become the three defining resources for the 21st century. Attention will determine what people will watch, intelligence will determine what people and machines can create, and energy determines how much computation society can support. So the biggest companies of the next decade may not simply sell products. They may control any one of these three foundations: the infrastructure of attention, or of intelligence, or of the infrastructure of energy. And the most important question for investors, businesses, and the governments is no longer who has the best product. It's who control the resources that power the future economy. And which of these resources do you think will become the most valuable? Attention, intelligence, or energy?